Now look at what we have here. Hello and welcome back to our Aserai Loyalist playthrough. And as I said, I'm not entirely sure whether we're going to start our own faction. I mean, it may make sense, but it's also going to be a case of, well, if we start our own faction, we're not actually going to be an Aserai Loyalist then, are we? I don't know. Well, we're going to have to see. Maybe we'll do that. Anyway, we're actually going to be entering a battle against Mr. Cadog. Now, if you know anything about my history with Mr. Cadog, he has proven himself to be a rather nefarious adversary in the past. Most specifically, in tournaments. Yeah, he's always been very effective in tournaments, so I'm very much hoping that we'll be okay here. It is not a 1 versus 1, so we should be we should be fine. We should be fine. But it very much depends, obviously. I really do actually very much appreciate fighting in Botanian territory. I know that sounds like a pretty fun or a kind of silly thing to say, to be honest, because if you think about it, wow, I can't believe I missed that. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, anyway. Might be a bit of a silly thing to say because obviously we're fighting in, in forests, and generally that's maybe not the best idea because we are, of course, going to have a bunch of trees all over the place, and the trees are going to make things much more difficult than they would have to be otherwise. I can't believe I'm missing every single attack right here, but there you go. That's just what happens. Oh, I absolutely murdered Mr. Cadog himself. Oh no, I'm going to get killed myself. Please don't get killed at the very start. That would be absolutely awful, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. It absolutely would. So I'm going to just stay a little bit back for the moment. And we'll try to do some damage to some of the enemy's horses if I can actually see them. Because I'm not seeing any right now. Thankfully, we are pretty, well, shall we say, diversified from the standard horse archer and the standard lancer as well, so I can more easily see who is actually an enemy and who isn't, because they're just using regular horses. As you can see, that Botanian scout had no idea what was about to befall him, and we just absolutely murdered him, which is exactly what we want. Thank you very much, Highborn Warrior. There we are. Yeah, so this is the kind of thing that I'm kind of hoping that we can do most of the time. It seems like our infantry are charging in there. That's not too bad. Let's try to harass the enemy's archers a little bit. As you can see, the Botanian Fian, obviously they are well known for being one of the strongest enemy units that the Botanians can indeed field. So it would be good if we could get those off the battle as soon as possible, basically. That's really going to be a pretty important thing to do, but I've got to be careful because obviously I don't really want to die, but we can try to maximize our efficiency as best as possible. Doing a couple of hit and run strategies here, not being as reckless, because that's the funny thing. You may think, you know, when you see some of my series that I die in really stupid ways. And yeah, absolutely, I do die in some stupid ways sometimes, but that's mostly because I'm not really caring too much at that exact moment whether I die. Yeah, sure, there are certain moments where I just can't help it. For example, you know, in a siege, because let's face it, sometimes you just can't determine whether you're going to, you know, die, get headshot or something along those lines. Sometimes you just can't control that, you know. However, in a situation like this, it's pretty clear that you can embellish your own HP a little bit. You can just be like, yes, you know what, I don't actually need to worry about anything here, because look at these guys, they're just completely distracted. They're distracted by my own forces, and if I'm clever about it, I am not going to take any additional damage. Of course, that's under the caveat that we're not outnumbered in any way, because obviously if we were outnumbered right now, then we would most likely be already on the floor. I would probably already be dead, to be honest, because the enemy is more than likely going to have significant amounts of, you know, something, archers or spearmen or something like that. Oh, look at that, and we actually gained a level, if you can believe it. That's pretty cool. Alright, well, yeah, hopefully we're gonna see something relatively useful with this level up. And, you know, it's actually quite funny because okay, here's the thing. I don't really want to get into a rant or anything like that right now, so I'm just gonna say one thing. when I level up in Bannerlord, I feel a little bit less excited. That doesn't mean I'm not excited about it, because I think it's actually really cool to be able to get another focus point or something like that in a particular skill. But the main problem with this, and I'm thinking I'm actually going to take this guy prisoner. There we go, we're going to take him prisoner for the moment. I don't... wait a minute. Okay, let's actually have a quick look here. Alright, so I'm going to have to take the highest tier. Oh yeah, that's nice. These are going to sell for so much. This is going to be fantastic. I'm actually kind of wondering whether I want to... Do I want to let him go, or do I want to sell him? If I sell him, we're going to get a lot of cash. But if I don't let him go, what actually happens? I don't know. Not much is actually going to happen if I keep him, you know? That's the funny thing, you know? If you actually take one of these people prisoner, if you take a liege prisoner of a particular faction, unless he's leading an army consistently, nothing much is really going to change, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yes, anyway, as I was saying, I feel a little bit less excited about leveling up in Bannerlord than I do in Warband. Like, for example, if I'm 100% excited to level up in Warband, I'm about 80% or so excited in Bannerlord, and I'll tell you why in 5 seconds. Okay, I'm only going to take 5 seconds to talk about this. So basically, it's all to do with speed, and it's all to do with the value of things that you're going to get. So, for example, if I put a focus point in trade, it doesn't do anything immediately. You see, it doesn't do anything immediately. All it does is increases my learning rate. Whereas in Warband, you're probably going to get something pretty awesome. You might get your next point in Power Strike, or you might get your next point in Surgery. And that's going to make a pretty significant difference to your overall ability to do something, whatever it is. So that's the main reason why there's that little disparity there. Anyway, let's see what we're going to take here. +3 relation with the nearest settlement owner when you clear a hideout. This is probably going to be quite useful for us, and also a -25% barter penalty with lords of the same culture. Now, for me personally, I think Slick Negotiator could be absolutely fantastic for everything has a price. Because obviously everything has a price, as you can see, is just amazing. It's a really, really good perk, but obviously not so much with the current setup of how they do things with the scaling of prices and so on. So what I'd love to see with Slick Negotiator here is I would like to see something a little bit more impactful. For example, -10% barter penalty with lords of different cultures. Obviously you want to try to buy other lords' fiefs, right? You want to buy other lords' fiefs. You don't really care about, you know, lords of your own culture in this case, because you're working for them, you know, you're working with them to take over the map. So this is not really going to be that useful. 10% is just negligible in every single respect, in my opinion at least. Otherwise, effort for the people, -25% barter penalty, that's a little better. I gotta say, that's a little better. I would love to see something like -50%, but obviously they're never going to do that because it's a little bit too strong then. But we're going to take effort for the people just purely for the fact that I might actually be clearing some hideouts. Who knows? Maybe I'll clear some hideouts at some point in the near future. Anyway, we have Sure-Footed here, or we can go for Unstoppable Force. I think I'm probably going to be taking Unstoppable Force, even though I'm not actually doing any Couch Lance damage. The ability for us to award +30% damage bonus from speed with polearms to cavalry in your formation, that's powerful. So I'm going to be taking that, because the other thing is mostly for infantry and spearmen and, you know, people like that, so I'm not actually going to be utilizing it that much. Anyway, we're going to go for an additional point in leadership here, so we max that out, and we're also going to be maxing out scouting as and when we can, and hopefully that's going to work out for us. Anyway, we can now sell for 15,800. I think I'll do it. We gained 0 in roguery skill. Okay. I gotta say, I'm surprised. I really have to say that I'm very surprised about that. I would have expected me ransoming a lord as powerful and as well known as Mr. Cadog I would have expected a little bit more of a, well, shall we say, a little bit more impactful of a roguery increase. So that's a little bit of a shame. Oh yeah, that's one thing that we've got to do. We've got to try out something, haven't we? We have to try out the caravan trick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell this sword to, yeah, I'm going to sell a couple of these things to a caravan. So I'm just going to sell this for 32,000. Basically what we're going to try to do, there's a caravan over there, but that's not really going to help us too much, is it? Maybe we can fight this guy? I mean, I think fighting this guy is probably going to be quite useful. What is it? Did he... That is hilarious. Did you see that? He literally just lost a huge amount of his own troops. Somehow? I have no idea how that happened, but this is going to give us some pretty decent relation with this village. Although, to be fair, I don't really care about this village that much. I care about the Aserai. As I showed you in the previous episode, the Aserai are not actually at war against anyone. So if I were to join them as a vassal, we would have very little to do. And that would be quite sad. I'm going to die here. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That is a stupid thing that I just did. And I know that. I know that that's stupid, but it's okay. We're going to win, no problem at all. Hopefully we won't lose too many units in the process, but... Yeah, did you see what the main issue was there? You're going to know exactly what the problem was. I, being a person that is used to, you know, riding on horses and so on and so forth, I thought to myself, oh yes, I can very easily jump this fence. But the funny thing is, the camels don't actually have very good jumping ability. I know. You'd think that they're going to be able to jump basically the same as the horses, but I have found that they're not actually that good at jumping. And so, as a result, well, that's exactly what happened. I thought to myself, I'm going to jump over the fence, and it didn't. Of course, it didn't. It just completely blocked me, and, well, you saw the result. So unfortunate that that was the case, but look at that, we actually gained a pretty significant amount of renown. We got some good influence as well. We got 100% of the loot, which is pretty amazing in itself. And we're just going to let this guy go once again, and we can take all of the prisoners. These guys, why do we get so many prisoners, by the way? We're getting so many prisoners every single time. It's actually crazy. Do my forces use blunt weapons or something like that? I'm actually kind of wondering. Wait a minute. Let me have a look here. No, that's not going to work. Yeah, maybe we can do it through here. Yeah, we can have a look through here. Okay, so the heavy lances, are they using blunt tip lances? No, they're not. That's really weird, actually. I'm kind of surprised. Okay, wait a minute. We need to look at the Faris, I think. There we go. Okay, let's have a look at these guys. Are they using a blunt tip lance? No, they are not. They're using piercing javelins as well. Okay, no. I'm actually wondering... Oh, it's probably Doctor's Oath, isn't it? Yeah, it's probably Doctor's Oath. Anyway, there's another 3,000. That's going to give me some more roguery skill. Obviously, I would love to be able to earn... It's never going to happen, but I would love to be able to get enough roguery skill to get to, you know... I don't know, 250, 300 roguery skill. That would be absolutely amazing, but... Unfortunately, I don't think that is going to be on the cards for this particular playthrough. It feels to me like that is just not going to work. And as you can no doubt tell, Zemina, she did get herself taken prisoner, which is extremely annoying, you know, but that's just how it goes, unfortunately, for parties. She's... I mean, parties in Bannerlord, they just really aren't able to make the same kinds of decisions that you would necessarily need them to make to be effective. And it's very sad that that is indeed the case. I'm actually thinking to myself, shall I attack this Vlandian caravan? Is that actually going to cause me to be at war with Vlandia? And are the... is the Western Empire actually going to be mad at me for that? They might. They might be mad at me. Okay, well, I'm just going to go in here. I'm just going to go in for a nice little auto-resolve. It's going to be super, super simple and easy. There we go. And we can take these guys prisoner as well. Basically, I'm just going to try to take as many people prisoner as I can. Well, as many regular units as I can possibly get my hands on. Let's see if there's a caravan that we can potentially find from the Botanians. Because I'm going to test out this particular strategy, because obviously this used to work really, really nicely but I was told by someone in the comments that it has since been fixed. So I'm obviously a little bit, well, I'm pretty saddened by that, to be honest, because I actually thought that was an extremely cool method of leveling roguery skill, and very ingenious. And when I found out about it, I thought to myself, wow, that's actually super, super fun, you know? It's a fun thing to have happen, but yeah, anyway, we've got two different choices for scouting here. We can have a 5% chance to find a mount when traveling through steppes and plains, or we can have minus 10% food consumption while traveling through steppes and forests, and a minus 15% disorganized state duration. For me personally, I would usually take the disorganized state duration, but I actually really want to find more mounts, so I'm going to be taking Beast Whisperer here, very specifically for that purpose. So that's what we're going to do. There's Urgion right there. He's in an army. I'm actually wondering where the Western Empire are with their armies. Oh, they're over here. Okay, well, hello, fellow. Would you mind actually... he is actually besieging something. We might be able to get into a large battle here. I'm not sure if that's worth me doing that, actually, to be fair. Because if I go into a large battle, is that going to give me anything? It kind of makes me think that no, it's not, which is quite funny if you think about it. You know, if you think about how, you know, how it's how it is right now. If I go into a battle, for example, oh wait, this is perfect. Oh no, maybe not so perfect because oh no, he's coming this way. Oh, this is perfect. Wait, where are you? There he is. There he is. Get him. Can I get him? Oh no, he's way too fast. Why are the caravans so incredibly fast? Do I have herding problems right now? Oh yeah, I have a huge herding problem. That's the reason why I'm so incredibly slow. Alright, well, Hasid is going to get defeated in just a second. He's going to get taken prisoner, no doubt. I'm going to assume at least. Let's ransom our prisoners here, and we're just going to have to get rid of a whole bunch of mounts, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll get rid of some of these sumpter horses here, get rid of some of these guys. I'm going to have to sell some of my wonderful trade supplies. And whoa, yeah, we've got so much food right here. Let's just get rid of all of that. Thank you very much. Well, yeah, we have so many. Wow, look at this. This is actually crazy. All right, so there we go. How's my herding now? Yeah, my herding is now 0.24. Let's get rid of another couple of sumpter horses. We can sell some of our little saddles too. And there we have it. Do they have any war mounts here, by the way? Oh yeah, I do need to go down into Aserai territory, actually, to be fair, because they're probably going to give me the best ones. We're just going to spend 12k here. Not too bad. I actually wonder where that silversmith caravan went. I'm not entirely sure whether we can even talk to them, to be honest. It's highly unlikely, because I seem to recall that maybe if you're at war against them, I don't know whether you're actually able to do any kind of bartering, so that's probably going to be a bit of an issue. I don't really want to help the Western Empire too much, because if I help them in these battles and I help them win, it might actually backfire in the end, which is not exactly what I want. Okay, so can we find a caravan? That's the question. It seems like they're being defeated quite a lot, which is pretty good for the Western Empire, but I'm wondering where are the where are the caravans? I'm not seeing any right now. There's just a bunch of villagers, and I don't really want to attack a villager. I'd like to attack a caravan if at all possible. I guess we're just gonna have to see if I can find one. And look at that. Okay, I actually did manage to find one, and here we go. We can literally just trade with him straight away. So he's got a bunch of really, really cool things right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell this two-handed sword, which is going to be relatively decent. Going to sell this one, just basically anything that is somewhat high-ish in value. Going to sell these things as well. Sell that. Any armaments that are going to sell for a lot? No, of course not. And what about some of this? I could technically sell... Oh wow, I've gotten so many of these camels. That's actually hilarious. Let's sell one of these to this guy, even though it's 30,000, which is insane. But I'm hopefully going to be able to create more with the breeder's skill. So we're just going to do this. There you go. And now we're going to attack him. And this is basically the method that I was talking about beforehand. So if we are able, we can cross our fingers and just hope that this is going to be the case. Because let's face it, it may very well not work. But if it does work, obviously this is not exactly how you're supposed to do it. How you're supposed to do it is by providing the caravan with extremely high value weapons that you have smithed yourself. Or, stuff that is generally high value as much as you possibly can stuff into their bags. That's pretty much what you want to do at most times, because that's going to provide you with the greatest value. Because basically how it works, or how the method used to work at least, if it doesn't work anymore, is the more value that you gain from the loot, the higher the chance that you're going to get an extremely large amount of roguery skill. That's basically how it used to work. So obviously, being able to loot all of this really, really wonderful stuff, like for example, high value smithed weapons, or the stuff that I just sold this guy, who knows? Maybe we will actually get a decent amount more. But if they have fixed it, and if they've changed it, then we won't be able to do it this way any further, and it will be very sad, because I don't know how to actually level up roguery faster than that, because, I mean, you've seen what I've been doing here, You've seen the fundamental issue with, the leveling speed of roguery, and it's a relatively similar problem with trade skill as well, actually, because trade skill and roguery skill, they both take a long time to level up. And most of the time when you're doing the activities, you're going to have to do thousands of actions of these activities. Like the trade skill, for example, it's going to take so long. Anyway, I gained 1 skill point in roguery. Not sure if that's gonna... Is that it? Is that all I'm gonna get? Maybe I'm gonna get more now when I go into... No, that's it. That is it. Yep, they fixed it, I think. Yeah, so thank you very much for letting me know about that. I just wanted to confirm it myself, because I was very saddened by that news, to be fair, because I personally feel like that was such a cool strategy to use. And I'm sure maybe someone's going to come up with something else. Maybe someone's going to come up with some other strategy that maybe can level up these things. But this is the point. I don't know why they would fix something like that, because that's just ingenious. In my opinion, at least. I think it's ingenious for someone to literally come up with the fact that you can do that in the first place, that you can literally just go, yeah, you know what, I'm going to sell all this stuff to this caravan, and then I'm going to attack the caravan, and it just makes all the sense in the world. It's so much fun, It's a lot of fun to do that, so I'm not sure why they would have fixed that, but oh well, never mind. I guess because it is technically taking advantage of game mechanics, but isn't that the whole point in a sandbox? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't really matter. We're just going to go and hopefully attack this caravan. No, he's running too fast. Do I have too much herding skill? Yeah, my herding is a little bit high. I wouldn't mind attacking one of these caravans though, to be honest. Oh no, he went in there. Okay, I'm just going to wait for him to come out. There he is. Get him. Get him. Oh, no, of course not. Of course, I'm too slow now, aren't I? Okay, well, let's go a little bit closer to here, because there's going to be a caravan that will leave in just a moment. Hopefully. Or maybe they won't. Ah, maybe I need to move away a little bit then. Here? Yes, there we go. Get him. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, we just go in there immediately, and you can see that it basically just doesn't give us anything. That's the whole point. If we would gain 1 or 2 skill points per time that we were attacking these caravans, I'd basically be like, yeah, okay, that's cool, that's fine. But the way it's working right now is a huge grind, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do it faster. The only thing I can do is try to break more people out of jail, but as you saw in the previous episode, I'm not actually able to do that either consistently. Because unless they're in different fiefs, which is highly unlikely, but unless they're in different fiefs, I would then have to you know, go from one fief to another, and that's fine. But the way it works right now is that if they're in the same fief, there's a huge cooldown. I don't even know how long the cooldown is, but it definitely put a bit of a spanner in the works for me, and I was actually unable to continue doing what I wanted to do with, you know, breaking people out of jail because of that cooldown. So yeah, I don't know how roguery skill has to level up. If someone knows a better way to level up roguery skill, by all means let me know, because I would be very interested to find out. Because as I say, roguery skill is one of my favorite skills in the whole game, because I just think it is so incredibly powerful. But maybe that's the reason why it's supposed to be hard. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't really make much sense. I think all the skills should level up at the same speed, to be honest. Ah, the Aserai. Look at this. The Aserai are actually at war against the Vlandians. Okay, this sounds like the best possible idea for me right now. So we're going to go straight down there. And I'm very quickly going to make a brief stopover in... Oh, they're declaring war on the... Oh. Southern Empire is declaring war against the Western Empire once again. Well, I suppose I can just rejoin at any time, but basically what I want to do is I want to go over to this town down here. This is perfect for horses. And what we're going to do is I'm literally just going to purchase a huge amount of... Oh, they don't have that many. Oh, that's sad. I'm not sure why they don't have that many. Oh well, that's not particularly good then, is it? Oh well, never mind. Okay, I'm just going to sell some of these, sell some of these. My herding is still a little bit problematic. It's okay now, I suppose. There we have it. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, right. So what we should do is I'm going to leave my mercenary contract in just a moment, because obviously, as you can see right here, my mercenary contract is on a downturn right now. And the best thing I can do is join the Aserai and try to, you know, enter some battles with them. So what we're going to do first of all, though... Okay, is there a brewery around here? Someone... yeah. This guy's got a brewery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy this guy's brewery. Here we go. It's going to cost me 22,000. Because the brewery is obviously going to make, you know, it's going to make beer out of grain, right? So... That's hopefully what this is going to do. I mean, no offense, but most of the time when when attempting to do this, workshops never really provide me with anything good, which is very sad, but you know, that's just how it goes, I guess. Anyway, we're just going to go for these guys. We're just going to go to the various places around here. You can see just how many noble units you can actually recruit. It's pretty crazy. And I'd love to be able to get some more war mounts, because that's kind of the reason why I even came back here, to be honest, because getting some more war mounts is literally going to give us such a massive power spike. It's really, really useful. There we go. That's basically all I wanted to do. We're going to leave this kingdom. There we go. We didn't lose anything for that either, which is fantastic. And now all I need to do is find a vassal. Where are the vassals? Is he... Are there any vassals that are actually proper vassals and not just minor faction vassals? Doesn't seem like it. Where are they? This is not so good. Is there someone in here actually that I can speak to? No, there isn't. Okay, well this is a bit of a problematic situation. I would like to send a message to them, but unfortunately I don't have that mod installed. I feel like that should be a basic function, to be honest, but it would be very cool if I could do that. But no, there isn't anyone in here either. So I'm going to assume that they're actually on a campaign right now. Oh no, there's Unkid. There's Unkid. Okay, I can speak to him. Hello there. Hello. Yes, I would like to enter your service for the right. Yes, 160. All right, you can count on me, sir. There we are. Fantastic. So we're now going to join the Aserai and fight against the Vlandians. This is, I hope, going to be all right. But at least we are now under the proper banner, I guess you could call it. I'm just going to go in here and see if... Oh, yes. A good amount of war mounts right there. Not too bad. I really want to get into a situation where I can literally just purchase insane amounts of war mounts. Massive amounts of them, actually. That would be so incredibly useful. There's 17 that we just used. Pretty crazy, the amount that we can actually use right here. Oh, no, Kareth. Oh, no. I don't think I can actually help him with this. They have so... No, he has just so few, unfortunately, as you can see. Yeah, that's really bad. But if they do... Oh, wait. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, I'm just gonna try to attack their economy then, I suppose. That's all I can really try to do right now. But I could maybe go for a prison break, you know? Go for a prison break. I think that's probably gonna come in mighty handy for us. If I can actually... I don't know. It depends on where they're actually gonna go to place them inside. Because if we get them in a particular location, then we'll probably be fine. Let's go into a battle with this fellow as well, because let's face it, he's a full vassal, you know. He's a full vassal. He's not like a minor faction or anything like that. I mean, technically, I probably could have just defeated him with an auto-resolve, but I just want to see what kinds of units these fellows are fielding, because some of the time they tend to surprise me quite a lot. Either they're going to have a huge amount of recruits, and these recruits are going to be, well, basically borderline useless, and then other times they just literally have the most dangerous units in the world, like for example a bunch of Vlandian sharpshooters. Ah, speak of the devil. Yes, look at how many sharpshooters these fellows have. Seems like the AI is consistently creating Vlandian sharpshooters. That's very surprising actually to me, because Vlandians, I don't know whether you know this, I mean, maybe you should, or maybe you shouldn't, I don't know, but Vlandians are actually very good with their cavalry. I feel like they should have more Vlandian knights rather than sharpshooters, but maybe some of these vassals are deciding to focus on ranged capability over other things, which is, again, a bit of a weird decision for them to make. I would have expected them to focus on cavalry, as I say, and maybe on some infantry as well, because they do have some pretty decent polearm infantry. But yeah, they seem to be producing Vlandian sharpshooters en masse, as you can tell. And while they are just going to get completely devastated by my army, for example, because my army is just comprised of, well, it's literally just cavalry right now. But you can imagine how that's going to be, because just imagine if we were to go into a battle and the enemy literally has only Vlandian sharpshooters, like for example that army behind us that we left alone. That is going to be a bit of a problem, in my opinion, because they are... Wait a minute, what actually happened right here? That was so weird. Did you see that? That was really, really surprising. Okay, yeah, anyway, point is, that army back there had such significant Vlandian sharpshooters that I was a bit scared, you know? Look at this. They've got 56 Vlandian sharpshooters, 43 sergeants, which are their infantry, and then they have 37 banner knights. They're going to be difficult to deal with. That was the reason why I didn't want to go in there, even though I wanted to support Kareth. I really did want to support him, but unfortunately, sometimes I just cannot. I have to prioritize my own survival at this point, especially considering I'm a mercenary. Wait a minute, let's actually have a look here. Are they going to have issues actually getting inside? Yeah, you know, if they do... Oh, wait. Hello, Ingaltha. I would like to do battle with you, sir. Okay, what do we think here? What do we think? Do you think I can actually... it's a plains battle, so technically I am going to gain a significant bonus here. This fella, he has 37 sergeants. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we basically lost pretty much nothing. So that's kind of crazy in itself. I'm not able to take any of these prisoners. However, what I will do is I'll try to get the highest value ones. Wow, okay. Yeah, I really need to sell my prisoners because I'm literally wasting a lot of money right now, or shall we say maybe a lot of roguery skill in the process. So we're going to just go back to friendly territory for the moment, or shall we say neutral territory, because I'm not going to go all the way back to Aserai lands. Thank you very much. So we'll just go over here real fast. 10,000. 10,000 is pretty nice, but that's a funny thing. Right now, right this second, I don't imagine that I will ever make it to, you know, the roguery skill that gets me the highest level perk Because look at this, I need 275. I'm at 114. And if you take a look at the information here, the information. Raid caravans, recruit and lead bandit troops, infiltrate enemy towns, give bribes, escape from captivity. Well, technically, what I could do is if I became a vassal, I could put my army in a garrison somewhere, and then I could just get myself taken prisoner on purpose and then try to escape. But I don't really understand how that's going to give me roguery skill. It's a bit weird. Otherwise, giving bribes, I could do gang activities. So for example, I could work with the gang leaders right here. Maybe that's a better way to do it. I don't know. There is obviously the Forbury mod, but of course people that are on console, they're not going to have the ability to get these mods. So I'm kind of wondering to myself right now, how does someone level up roguery in the base game and actually get it to 275? That's the question. I don't know. If you have any ideas, then by all means let me know. But otherwise, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.